University is full of questions. Some are straightforward, others are more complicated. For some, you may not find the answer until after you've graduated. It's no wonder it can seem a little overwhelming at times. But what if there were a place to go to sort through these questions? Well, there is. LSE Life is where you can come to ask your questions, find tips and advice, and talk through your ideas. Some questions are about how to study effectively and get your academic work done. As you make the move from school to uni, from undergrad to postgrad, across the years in your degree, or back to school from professional life, LSE Life can help you make sense of how you study best and what's expected in your academic work. Other questions have to do with everyday life and things you want to do outside the classroom. At LSE Life, we're here to help you find some answers to all of these questions. We know you're busy, and there's a lot going on at LSE Life too. So to help make it easy to find what you need, when you need it, we use these categories to organise our resources and our events.
Let's take an example. Your teachers assign and recommend a lot of texts for you to read, and you probably do some reading every day. LSE Life can help you develop ways to work with academic texts to make your reading more effective, more useful, and maybe even more interesting. How? Well, there are at least 3 different ways. The first way you can discover new approaches to learning with LSE Life is through our online resources. We've got plenty of slides, documents, and videos about ways to study and learn on our Moodle page. So you can explore advice and ideas, examples and exercises in your own time, wherever you are. It's easy to find. Once you're logged into Moodle, just click on My Courses and select LSE Life. So for example, if you're looking for some ways to develop your reading skills, why not start with this section called Read? Open it up and browse through the material. You'll find ideas about ways to make sense of readings, use readings for your own work, make effective notes, and manage the time you spend doing your reading. You might want to start with this introductory video on how to read for academic work, or these tips on making the most of the time you spend reading. You can log on to our Moodle page anytime, so you can use and adapt our materials whenever you decide they're useful for you, and as many times as you'd like. Let's say you've had a look at some of our online material, but you'd like to do more to improve your academic reading skills. The second way you can take advantage of LSE Life to study better is to come along to our workshops. So we all know LSE brings together a lot of very clever and very hardworking students. But one thing to remember is that no one shows up knowing how to tackle these long, complex texts. The skill of managing and understanding academic text comes with time and practice. And eventually you get better and you find the way that works for you. But what can be really helpful is to try a few techniques and to talk with people to see how they approach it. And this is exactly what we do in LSE Life workshops. So for instance, we have a workshop on how to make clear, concise, and critical notes from your reading. And there you get some tips on what to look out for while you read, and you'll get hands-on practice with your own notes and the texts you're working with. You'll also get a chance to ask your questions, share your ideas, and talk with other students about how they're managing. LSE Life workshops are scheduled on specific dates and times all year long, and they typically last about an hour. LSE Life workshops are open to students from all across the school, so not only will you get a chance to develop a particular skill, but you'll also get to meet and talk with people studying all kinds of different subjects. The third way you can develop your skills is to have a one-to-one appointment with an LSE Life study advisor. So following this example, Let's say that you tried some of the note-making templates on Moodle and that you've come along to a couple workshops on critical thinking or engaging with arguments in texts, but you still haven't found your method. Maybe it seems like reading takes so much time and energy, and you're still not getting what you want out of the texts. What you could use is some personalized advice. We do that too. You can book a 30-minute appointment with an LSE Life study advisor. We're a diverse team. Most of us have studied and taught at the LSE, and a lot of us have studied and taught at universities in countries outside of our own. So collectively, we have a lot of experience that we can share with you. So for example, you could come along with your reading notes and ask us some specific questions. Or you might bring along a text that you're about to start reading, and we could talk about different approaches to reading the text. But you don't need to have a specific question. You could just book an appointment for a chat about academic reading and why it seems so challenging sometimes. We've all been there. And at LSE Life, we believe that one of the best ways to understand something is to talk it through with someone. Now, of course, we don't have all the answers, and we might not have the specific answer you're looking for, but it's likely we know some people who do, and in any case, we're here to help you figure it out. Now, this has just been one small example about reading. Remember, at LSE Life, we cover a lot of different aspects about your studies and your life at LSE.
But what about some of those bigger questions around reaching your own goals, discovering a career you'll enjoy, making a difference in the world, achieving the exam results you want? This is where you see how your skills come together. For example, let's say you've got an essay to hand in. It's simple, right? Just sit down and write. Well, just a minute. You'll need to understand the instructions and the question you're actually meant to be answering. You probably need to make some kind of argument, and you might be expected to take a position yourself. You have to find and review current knowledge, and you might need to interpret statistical data, or other types of evidence and examples to build your argument or tell your story. Depending on whether it's an academic essay or a blog post or visual data, you'll need to present it in a suitable way for your audience, and you'll need to let them know which sources you used with proper citations and references. Oof, that's a lot to keep track of to hand it in by the deadline. So you see, while we use these icons to help you find and use our online resources, workshops, and one-to-one sessions, when you get down to getting things done and figuring out what you're really interested in at LSE, it's almost never just about one skill. It's all connected. Making useful notes in lectures and from texts will help a lot when you're revising for exams. If you can be convincing in an essay, you can write convincing project proposals and job applications. Conducting research that can change the world requires a good plan. Understanding your own motivations and goals is an important part of having a balanced, healthy life. This has been a quick tour of what we do in LSE Life. If there's one thing to take away from this, LSE Life is the place to help you get things done. We're here for you all year long, from welcome to your first essay feedback, through exam revision, and into dissertation research over the summer. If we don't have the answer to your question, we'll help you find the people who do. Everything you need to book a one-to-one session, come to a workshop, or find our Moodle page is on our website. You can also just send us an email with any questions you might have. So, come and start your LSE life with us.